You feel that you are ready to step in the ring? Not just any ring, I'm talking about the HOK. Tough as a pyramid. sa.neter, talk to it.
Hey, I can't hear you, Si.
What the hell are we fighting for?
What's up, Si?
Why my
The voice is messed up. You can hear me?
Is it
Man, I can't. I heard you a little bit. Let me see what's
or
happening.
lack of identity? It's not a sin to reject the wicked message they be sending me. We deal with prisms of isms. We feel trapped in a system calling visions of prisons, then attack with a vengeance. Are we scared or ignorant or just dismayed? Are we Hebrews or Christians or FBA? Are we Muslims, Moors or African Americans, Kemetic, Semitic, Indian or Sumerian? Really what we carrying is way too much. But instead of being serious, we play too much. Who am I? Can you tell me the truth? Who am I? How can my tree bear fruit? Who am I? Simply just don't know. Who am I? What we reaped, we now sow. Who am I? Can you tell me the truth? Who am I? How can my tree bear fruit? Who am I? Simply just don't know. Who am I? What we reaped, we now sow. My DNA say I am that I am, and I'm all that I am. I stand like a man with my plans in advance. I stand all the land that my past had command. Now the land that I stand is just sand in my hands. Divided we are falling with no end in sight, but together we have proved we can win any fight. To sa.neter, Jabari, Dr. Reggie, we brethren. To both Azar, Mkai, and Ozar, 7 elder, son, 10 apostle, Morpheus and Black Sage. To everybody in the chat, it's time to turn page. So let's put down titles, unite with all our rivals, and surprise this whole world of our comeback's arrival. Can you tell me the truth? Who am I? Who am I? How can my tree bear fruit? Who am I? Simply just don't know. Who am I? What we reap, we sow. Who am I? Who am I? It's do or die, do or Who am I? So who am I? Who am I? It's do or die, do or die, do or
Yes, yes. Who am I? Who am I? My man, I saw 7 wrote that song, Who Am I? You see I saw 7 on the screen right now. Anyway, family, we want to talk about what's going on, man. And how do the effects of Donald Trump puts us in danger? If so, do we support Donald Trump or are we against his actions? Let's talk about it. That's why I called up my man, Asar 7, because Asar 7 deals with the politics a lot. And he goes in on that. So my brother, Asar 7, what's up, man?
Peace, sir.
Peace.
Just go ahead.
Peace, brother. What's up?
Yeah, man. It's good to see you. Peace to everybody in the chat. Hopefully, we can have some people come in and add on to the build. I especially want the people who supported Trump, who was opposing my rebuttal against voting for him and all his policies. I want you people to come on in because we need to have a discussion about your decisions. How do you feel about those decisions? Do you still back Donald Trump? And what do you see in the future of him remaining as our president? Especially people like Misunderstood and Elder Yara Black Sage. Those were the main two who were defending Trump's policies and who he is as a president. So come on, so we can come in and talk about this. I mainly want to talk about, like Saw said, this U.S. and Israel issue. We see that we are in war again. And if you look at all the polls, I don't care which poll you would want, a conservative one, uh, a liberal one, all the polls show that the American people do not support this war, right? But yet we still have a government that is spearheading war. Really, it's twofold. You have the United States supporting Israel in their efforts to take over the West Bank, and Iran is key to that. And you also have Donald Trump, who is using this war to leave cover to all of his failings in immigration, in the economy, in him being in the Epstein files. So we're going to have a discussion upon how all of that affects you today, right? And let's start with why we are in this war. We're in this war because Israel wants to take over the West Bank. There was a promise made to them by the ideology of their book, and they take claim to that ideology, and they are actively trying to take claim of land that people were already there. If you don't know the Palestinian story, you should go and do your research, and you will find that the UK and the United States of America, with their banking system and their military, went and backed the Israel people and backed them into taking over the land, the homes, the lives of the Palestinian people, right? And in that came conflict. And not only did they create that immediate conflict with the Palestinian people, they started encroaching on all the other Arab nations or people who were inland that they had made claim to. So United States backs them in their efforts of especially the genocide of the Palestinian people, but in their whole entire existence, they've had the backing of the United States, the whole and the United Kingdom, Western society in its whole, and they used what the Germans did to them as political currency to put them in the position that they are in now today. And we, American citizens and taxpayers, are paying for wars that don't benefit us, that has nothing to do with us really. And Israel is the benefit to it all. So, we need to see that war is not only good for the country because you have people who hate us, who infringe on their land and their peace or their government in the name of America's or Western society's interests rather than their own. And you hear death to America. You hear all of these different um, death mantras from Arab nations and nations that are colonized because we go in and we take what we want. We kill or imprison their leadership, and then we put in somebody that's going to bend to our will. And it's not good for the people over there, and it's not good for us because our tax dollars are being used to aid to benefit them. And I think that we need to be more cognitive, especially Black people in America, of not being fooled by a con man like Donald Trump, to agree with this rhetoric, to promote it, and to think that he's doing a good job to fool us. So all those people out there who they're probably scared, they're probably not going to come up here because they know the truth and the facts are going to aren't going to support the argument they may try to make. That's why I don't see Misunderstood here. What happened? She wasn't able to make it to the bill. sa.neter, I can't hear you. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
I haven't spoke to her today.
Okay.
But I sent the message. I don't know if she got it or not. But I just got off the phone with Yara, Black Sage, and Black Sage is gonna come through. So we'll see. I'm gonna get ready to call Lord Abba because Lord Abba was with Trump as well.
He surely was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to hear what they have to say. I want to see if they're going to try to align themselves with the people who are trying to defend the atrocities he has set upon us.
But what do you think about Iran, though? The Iranian government? Don't they hate Americans? They shouted out to America a few times.
Well, if you watch any of the coverage on the Iranian war and after the Ayatollah had been murdered, and most of the leadership had been murdered as well, there was a mixed reaction from the Iranian people. There's about 93 million people in Iran. It's a very big country, and the report showed that there were some people mourning the loss of the Ayatollah, and then you had some people who were cheering the death of Ayatollah. So I think it's a mixed bag. There really can't be a real consensus at this moment to know how much of the people really celebrate his death and how much really mourn. But I'll tell you this, they chant death to America because America went over there and messed with them first. America, and we actually had a positive relationship with Iran until the 1950s when they had a democratic leader voted in. They voted in through a democracy. They voted in this leadership, and this leadership, the United States did not care for because he was trying to liberate his people. He was trying to keep their generational wealth by holding on to their oil rigs and making sure that Iranians were benefited. And you had to. This was actually the BRICS who had to issue first, and they made sure that the United States came in to help to get rid of that democratic elected person that ran in Iran, so they can put their puppet in. And we've had positive relationships with them with that puppet system until 1979, when Iran totally kicked out everybody that was affiliated with America. And we had those hostages, as if you know about.
Hold on. Peace, brother Lord Abba. Where you at, man?
What's going on? I'm out and about right now.
Get on your phone, jump on the live. We talking about Trump, and your name came up, so you're gonna have to defend this, brother. We live. The people hear you live right now. You're live on the air right now. Do you hear me?
I got you, but I hear you, but I don't have to defend nothing. There's nothing to defend.
What do you think what do you think about the strike on Iran?
I think it was horrible.
Oh,
horrible.
Why? Why do you think it was horrible?
I mean, because why is America striking Iran for Israel? Number one, right? Mm-hmm. That's what makes it.
I need you to come on and drop this information. We talking about it.
I'm moving around right now. I could park for a minute and talk about it, but
Yeah, do
I'm
that. Just
kind of
give us like 10 minutes of your expertise, brother. This is what you deal with. You got to feed the
all right.
people the
All right.
information. So when you park for a minute, come on in. The people hear you, man. They've been telling me to call you, brother. You
Yeah,
All
know?
right.
especially me, brother Lord Abba, especially me, Seven of Star. Me and you've had discussions about this.
No doubt. All right. Give me a few minutes.
All right, brother.
All right. All right. Peace.
All right. So we got one, and I don't know why y'all Black Sage ain't come in yet. The hell is
Oh
he
yeah,
saying?
well, because he's got to go in and try to find some talking points that can support defending the atrocities of this president. That's what
Where
he's
you
doing.
at, Black Sage? Get that ass up in here, man.
Black Sage is researching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, Black Sage. Come on, man. We just heard you, bro. Black Sage, man. What's up? See, he on the phone. He's silent. Oh, there you go. He popped up. Okay. Okay, we got Black Sage in the building. Talk your talk. Asar, what's happening? Go in. Let's get it in.
Yeah, I want to say peace to you, Elder Yara. It's good to see you, and I'm glad that you came on the panel to defend what you had spoken on before this election, and you told us all that you were going to vote for Trump, and I assume that you did. What do you have to say when you were Oh, what happened to him? Uh oh,
Yeah, he's
he's gone.
fixing it. He's fixing it. He
Oh, okay,
probably can't hear. That's why he didn't hear me.
okay. Yeah, I need to know. I want him to defend his tariffs. I want him to defend that Donald Trump campaigned that he would have no more wars. He campaigned that he wouldn't be about regime change. And he has done totally opposite of what he had campaigned and what he had promised his supporters for. So I want to hear what Elder Yara has to say about all these false promises that Donald Trump has made.
Y'all
Okay, there
right.
you
You
go.
hear us, Black Sage?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right, go
Peace
ahead.
to
Go
you,
ahead.
fam.
Say it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, I want,
I don't know what this guy's talking about. Failed promises and false promises and all that goofy stuff, man.
oh,
Like
you know. Oh, you know.
at the end, hey, I mean, I only hear really poor people making that argument, not myself. But at the end of the day, man, when it talks about when you talk about what Trump has done in the last 48 hours or so, why don't you take a trip over there or just go over there and read the news media of the people that are actually over there and those who are over here, Iranians over here in the States who are rejoicing. I was in downtown Detroit yesterday, just listening, which I thought was a protest against Trump. But as I got closer, you know what I saw? People holding up the Iranian and American flags, rejoicing that this religious leader who have been oppressing the women over there for
That's true.
decades
That's
is
true.
dead and gone. So y'all can get up here and bloviate about what you think Trump has done, but the people around the world in those places who have been oppressed don't agree with you. And
Bring
I
it out,
keep
y'all.
telling
Bring it out,
folks,
Black Sage.
stop talking about things you don't know about. Y'all are emotional
Uh,
bags of wind. That's
woo.
simply it. So at the end of the day, listen, a lot of these strikes that he's doing, this is not recon that Trump has come upon or decided to do. These are things that have been on the table for decades. Decades. He's the only president that had enough balls to execute them. All of this
Bring
stuff
it
was on
out.
the
Bring
table
it
with
out, Black
Obama.
Sage.
All of this stuff was on the table with Biden. All of this stuff was on the
Right.
table going all the way back to almost Ronald Reagan in the 80s. So we know the same thing Hayatollah Khomeini was doing before they got to this Ali Khamenei. These things have been going on for decades. He's just the president that's had the balls to do it. The problem is you got too many people on this side of the argument who don't have any balls. And I'm not talking about the women who can't understand the difference between a bully and someone who's actually trying to protect the little interest in this world that you think you have. Because as an African American in this country, you don't really have any interest that amounts to anything that you have not personally fought for. That's the point that I'm making to all my brothers and sisters. Don't be emotional about it. See how what you can do for your people, and the best thing that you can do at this moment, and go fight for that. You arguing about whether Trump is the man of this. Neither one of them care about you. That's not the point.
Bring it out.
The
Bring it
point
out.
is, what's the best option that you have? And you better hope he get it in, because once they get Trump out of here, they're gonna do everything they can to get these people out of here that's in these Trump Republicans and everything that he's doing to get them out of here, so they can take you back to wearing skirts and high heels and blue jean sweaters. This is
Okay.
what they're trying to get you back to do,
Let
black
me
man.
respond.
That's
No,
what you're thinking
Let me
about.
respond.
Hold on, Seven. Because I want to get Lord Abba, because he just parked for a minute. And then, you know,
Okay.
this is the show. We're going to let you rock. So, Lord
It's all
Abba, what
good.
do you think about what you're hearing with Black Sage?
Peace. Shout out to the panel. Let me know if my audio sounds
Yeah,
good.
we hear you good.
Okay, cool. Yara. Shout out, peace to brother Yara. That was funny. I don't know. That was making me laugh a little bit. But if anybody knows what's going on with this situation, then they understand exactly what it is, right? The United States of America is practically fighting a proxy war for Israel. And Israel could have done this on its own, but they decided to bring the United States in there just in case Israel can't handle. This is just one aspect of it, Iran. Then the United States can unleash its full military force on Iran, right? But this is Israel's war. This is why Israel lobbies with AIPAC the way that it does. This is why Israel has not most, but a lot of, I don't even want to say right and left-wing politicians in their pocket, including a Jasmine Crockett and including a Raphael Warnock. Like this is just a fact, right? They have them in their pocket because they want to carry out a specific agenda. And that agenda is advancing Israel's Greater Israel Project. This has nothing to do with American interests at all. So that's BS. The second portion of this is China, right? When Trump took Venezuela, the Venezuelan president, I should say, I guess you could say they took Venezuela. Remember, there were Chinese diplomats that were in the country early that day, and they were negotiating because China needs energy. China needs oil. They said that the Chinese, they projected that the Chinese wouldn't catch up to the US's technology for another 10 to 12 years. But China is practically 3 months behind the United States right now. And the only technological advance that the US has over China is the NVIDIA chip. Other than that, the Chinese is right on America's heels. This is a fact. And so you hit Venezuela. So that China is not trading technology and resources with this Venezuelan country that can then become a threat in South America to the American mainland. So you cut that off. 80% of Iranian oil goes to China. So you hit China. Now, this is the American side of it, right? For their own greed. You hit China. You hit Iran to cut off the oil supply to the Chinese, to slow down the Chinese, because China used to be the third largest superpower in this world. Now it is the second, and it's positioning itself through the global South, through the BRICS nations, to be number one. They're trying to cripple the dollar right now. China doesn't go around the world telling people that they have to be Chinese. Nobody's trying to convince you from China to be Chinese. That's a European tactic, right? This is why most of Africa speaks what? French. They speak a European language. And then
neocolonialism.
That's right. Usually their third language is English outside of their native tongues. So, right, this thing that's happening right now is geopolitics. It's the Crusader state operating, the Crusader state being the United States of America. Yara, I don't know if you're on Twitter, X. Most of the MAGA and especially the Nick Fuentes, Groyper America First movement, they're saying like this is not what we voted for. MAGA is saying, Marjorie Taylor Greene put out a tweet saying this is not what I voted for. This is not what I put Trump into office for. And many people like myself who, because we want to get to that question, right, who voted for Trump, this is not what we voted for. We voted to bring the economy back, to bring jobs back to our people, largely by removing the illegal immigrants who are here, who are practicing a form of ethnic networking, whereas they use chain migration to bring, once they got in, they can bring their people in. But once Biden got in, the borders were left wide. These were the things that we voted for. And I'll end on this. A part of my vote, and I said this during my sit down with Jabari, was to get, and I said it here on this channel, and I'm going to say it again, to get the Democrats up out of the paint so that us that's on this screen right now, and those of us that's listening to the sound of my voice will take the power within our own hands. This is not a white man's government. It's just a government that the white men have been able to control. This is why they murdered us when we went to go vote. This is why they burned down Wilmington, North Carolina back in the 1800s, because they did not want our people to see what a legacy of political power looks like. So we have to understand that for us, it is about us. Yara ended that correctly by saying none of these people care about us. And I echoed that sentiment. I didn't vote for Trump because I'm a Trump supporter or I support the political party, etc., etc. I voted for the things that I listed and to get the Dems up out of the paint so that we can take our place among the affairs of men. And Ramadan Mubarak for all of those that's practicing. My mouth is just getting dry right now as I'm talking.
All right. 7, let's get it.
Yeah, first I want to say that I appreciate what Lord Abba actually said about Iran. He actually is very on point on the history. And all of the points that he made on that topic, I agree with. I think there's one thing that he missed as far as one of the reasonings that Trump is attacking Iran. And we know that there is, people have to vote in November, right, for the midterms. And he has touted many times about how Iran, creating a war with Iran is a good thing to do when it's election time. He accused Barack Obama of that many times. He's used that trope. And usually when Donald Trump says something, he's projecting his own feelings. I'm going to come back to you, Lord Abba, on why you voted to Trump. But I got to address our brother Black Sage, who very well articulated his argument, even though it was a very poor argument, because his argument was a humanitarian one from Donald Trump. There's nobody on this screen or anybody that can't even hear my voice believes that Donald Trump is a humanitarian and he's trying to liberate Iran because there's people who don't like the regime there, right? And for him to say that, well, look at the other news people, brother. I watch all the news, foreign and domestic. I read all the papers, foreign and domestic. And as I said before you got on here, when I was talking to sa.neter, that it was a mixed reaction to the Ayatollah's death. There were thousands of people in the streets mourning his death, while there were some cheering. There's 93 million people in Iran. You can't give me a consensus that majority of Iranians weren't mourning. I can't give you a consensus that majority of Iranians weren't cheering. But what I can tell you is none of that is America's business, as Lord Abba had articulated. All of this is Israel's business. And for you to come step up here and tell us we don't know what we talking about, right? It ain't no we. It's really you generally talking to me. So tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because I clearly do, right? And I've articulated all the reasons of why America has attacked Iran. And we have to be honest about Trump, right? When Lord Iba, and I don't know, Black Sage, he seemed to agree with him. He voted for Trump not because he supports the Republican Party, but he supported the policies that he was speaking on, and he wanted to get the Democratic Party out so we can retain some power. Well, my brother Lord Iba, Black people have not retained any power from this. As a matter of fact, you helping Donald Trump get into office actually has driven more Black people back to the Democratic Party, right? You see the polls swinging. You see all of these swing positions. The Democrats are winning overwhelmingly, right? And the only policy that you can tout that Donald Trump has done that you wanted was closing the border. He did that one very well. I cannot give it away from him. Closing that border, he did the best job that any of these presidents did, right? But Donald Trump has plummeted our economy. You know, America's last year paid from $1,000 to $1,700 extra because of the tariffs. Now, someone like El Diabra, who speaks like a Republican, right? Only poor people are concerned about that, right? Because the rich take care of the rich and they don't care about the poor. That's why they cut Medicaid. That's why they cut SNAP benefits for the poor, right? People like El Diabra, they don't care about those people. He said that only poor people say that, right? When half of this country lives check to check, right? There's really not wealthy. There's only a small percentage of this country that's wealthy. And because of these tariffs, because of the way he not only closed the border, but the way he ran immigration and the racist tropes that he has done, and bombing 8 countries within this year, there is not 99% of what Donald Trump has promised you, he has failed you. So you can come up here and talk about what people don't know and what they getting emotional about, but there's no way in the world you can defend his record. And you were in here with me, El Diablo. We had a discussion about these tariffs, and you were defending them. You were bringing up all types of sources to defend these tariffs when we know history tells us a mass amount of tariffs on countries is not good economically. And now a year later, Elder Yara, you see the truth that I was telling you and others like Brother Jabbar. And I'll land my plane there for other people to speak.
All right. I'm gonna
get a quick 30 seconds, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Just 30 seconds. You're right, Brother Orsar. Yes, we haven't seized the power. You know why? Because we foolishly still believe that the other party brings salvation for us. If we can't get together and bring our minds together to say nothing is going to change for Black people in America under Democrats or Republicans, and that I can't use Trump as the tool to bring my people to vote for or against their best interests. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about what he's doing so long as it doesn't harm me and my family, and so long as his policies doesn't harm me and my family. But at what point do we step up and say, we are going to become the congressmen? We are going to become the state representatives. We are going to become the senators in this nation so that we can start doing things for us. That is my point. The power is up to us now. It is up to us now. So, I just wanted to end on that in response to Brother Orsar. Great conversation. I got to run. So I'll be listening in from YouTube. Peace, y'all.
Hey, thanks, Lord Abba, for coming through, brother. Appreciate you.
Definitely. All right, peace.
All right, real quick, let me make a quick announcement to those who are in the chat. I know this is the chat y'all in, but please don't disrespect the brothers who is not afraid to come up here and voice their opinion. And all you're doing is putting clowns up in there. That's only going to get you blocked for 24 hours. Because you too much of a coward to come up in here and speak your piece. So sit your ass back and let these real brothers who is not afraid to come from behind their avatar and show their face and get the building. So without any further ado, let me go to AX. AX, what's up, man? AK, I mean. Unmute yourself. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. AK, I called on you. All right, let me move on to the next one. Let me get my brother up in here. What's going on, brother?
What's up, brother?
All right.
Yeah, I think people get too caught up in the partisan politics. This has, when it comes to United States foreign policy, it has nothing to do with partisan politics. Whether
Thanks,
Kamala
brother.
Harris was the president or Trump was president, the United States foreign policy is going to be the same. Especially when you look at Kamala Harris's ties to the state of Israel. But I think a misconception is that people are saying that the United States is directly acting in the behalf of Israel. It's not the case. Israel was propagated and propped up to be the proxy and vassal of the United Kingdom and the United States in the Levant. They're their watchdog.
Can you repeat that, brother? Can you repeat that
he's
last
wrong.
statement you just made?
He's wrong.
All right, let him speak.
I just want him to repeat it. I just want him to repeat what he said.
This is a historical fact. This is a historical fact. It's not. Our primary sources would be nothing to bring this up, brother. Everyone knows that after World War II, that the entire promise from the United Kingdom and the United States, especially after the Bretton Woods Convention, was for Israel to be their watchdog in the Levant. They're not any independent power. Israel would not be able to exist without the United States military apparatus. That's just a fact. But anyways, this entire dynamic was created by the United States. They deposed Mossadegh in the 50s. He was a democratically elected leader. The people loved him. He tried to nationalize the oil and OPEC and the United States. The United States and the United Kingdom came together and deposed him and implemented a tyrant in the Shah. And then that led, years after the Shah was deposed because of his tyrannical lead, that led to the Ayatollahs being implemented, and fundamentalist Shiaism became the state apparatus. So the United States does this all the time. They create these problems, then they try to come in with fake solutions, but they end up making a mess because it snowballs. These people are governed by interests. It's not about morality. They use religion. It's not about religion, though. They just use that as a shield because they know the average individual is a sheep, and they're not intelligent enough to decipher through the lines. But yeah, this is just about interest. The United States weaponized the dollar. Russia and China got tired of that, so they formulated BRICS. And BRICS people were stopped trading within the petrodollar. And when the United States dollar is not the reserve currency anymore, that's going to plummet and tank the United States economy. So this is just preemptive action with that, and it's also energy sovereignty too as well. So it's multifaceted. It's not just one thing, but the United States foreign policy, they're trying to recolonize. If you look at what Marco Rubio said in the Munich Security Conference, he went out there and waxed poetically to all the former European colonial nations and said we need to come back and recolonize. So this is just phase one of it. They're done putting that mask on. They've taken that mask off, and this regime is making their intentions clear. So to me, that's a good thing.
You have to let me respond, sa.neter, because if this is my show, I should be able to respond to when people are saying things that I know are incorrect.
Go ahead, go in.
Okay, brother, you are right that the UK. I articulated this earlier before you came in. You are right. The UK and America did support Israel in the beginning, right, with their banking and with their army. You are correct. But Israel, from then to now, has positioned themselves already in power. They have one of the biggest armies on the planet. They have a golden dome where missiles can't even get through. They have the resources are much bigger than the United States of America, right? And they have nuclear weapons. So the Israel do not need. This is an actual fact. Israel does not need America to assist them in wars. They have a big enough army. They have enough weapons and military to support themselves. That Israel uses America. See, this is what a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of people that think that America is running this thing. But here, let me give you some. Let me drop some facts on you. Everybody know who Giselle Maxwell is, right? The woman that's in jail with Epstein, right? That aided Epstein in that. Did you know her father stole atomic nuclear secrets from America? No, you didn't know that because America won't disclose that information, right? But did he get put up on any charges? No, he did not. Did you know that Israelis have killed Americans all throughout these decades? You don't hear nothing of that. Did you know that Epstein was working with Mossad, the secret agency of Israel? And Israel was using Epstein to do their bidding, right? So when you speak about how Israel is just like the baby brother or the proxy to America, that is not true. AIPAC controls our government, as our brother Lord Abba has spoken on. They lobby to make sure they maintain that Israel is first, not America, right? If you say anything about the Israeli government, not Jewish people, not the religion, but anything about the atrocities of the Israel, you will be labeled as an anti-Semitic. You say anything about Zionism, their right to occupy where the Palestinian people are today, which was illegal. You are called anti-Semitic, and that will kill you culturally, economically. That's the power of Israel. So to come on here and tell us that America upholds the founder, no, 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 no. Trump has gotten hundreds of millions of dollars from AIPAC. He serves them. It's not the other way around. Go ahead. I'll land my plane there.
Brother, the United States is responsible for, I think, like 69% from upwards from 60 to 69% of their weapons distribution to Israel.
Facts.
I mean, what you're saying, I understand what
we
you understand what a vassal is. Vassals aren't completely vassals historically are not completely dependent on the not the subsidiary, but the autocratic state that formulated them. They have different levels of independence between the dynamics. But again, when you look at the stuff at face value, they're still a vassal. They have the level of independence. But when you have to observe the whole thing, they've, as the years gone on, they've gotten more and more independence, but it's not to this. It hasn't got to the level to where they're dictating terms to the United States. The United States needs Israel and the Levant. The United States needs, and really the House of Saud as well. They use them as well, but they're doing their interest in the Middle East and the Levant.
All right, real quick.
I can provide the sources. There's nothing.
All right. Let me move over. Yara, before I go on, you want to say something, Black Sage? Go on once.
Yeah, no, sorry. You could go around. You can go around the panel because I agree with the brother Azu. I believe that's what his name is. I agree with 1,000% what he said. That's an eloquent and knowledgeable assess of what we're actually dealing with here, and that's my whole premise. Is that what we're looking at has nothing to do with bipartisanism, as the brother said. This is geopolitical play that we are involved in, and it's a global reaction to who's going to control the economic landscape in this world, and it's about seizing power, right? Even when Lord Apple was on here, I wanted to ask him, like understanding, like people still don't realize the play that China has is that they still hold a large portion of the US debt that people overlooked at and never thought about. And never thought about the fact when those chickens were going to come home to roost, and China's going to they're trying to play the long game. So understanding, as Lord Abbott said, cutting off the oil supply that China receives from South America, from Argentina, and then also cutting China's oil supply off from Iran, pushes China into a position where they either have to come to the table and negotiate. They do not want, as much as people think they do not want to get into a nuclear gameplay or saddle raising with the United States of America. You don't want to do that. Those people enjoy life just as much as we do, right? They don't want to. That's not what they're aiming for. They're aiming for who's going to be still part of the global power in this global political landscape that we're in. It has nothing to do with a lot of these emotional ties. I like the fact when Laura Albert talks about, even if we would have voted in Kamala Harris, she's married to a whole small hat. Her husband is a small hat. She's a small hat. Y'all don't understand that she is literally Jewish. Y'all not understanding that concept. So because of who she's married to, sa.neter, that makes her Jewish. And so we got to understand, like, these are the people that are actually in play. And it's geopolitical landscape. It has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. That's a remedial argument to be making. And we got to understand what these people are doing. And as a matter of fact, this is why a lot of these people, even with the whole Epstein's file, this is why these people aren't going to be prosecuted. Because these are powerful people that are at play here. And they've even said it. They even testified. I think Pam Bondi even testified this in Congress. If they even went after and to prosecute all of the people that they know whose names were redacted in the Epstein's file, most of the global economy would take a hit. You got the gentleman now. I can't remember his name, but he's the head of the World Economic Forum. He has to step down. You know why? Because he's named in the Epstein files. Like these people, you're not talking about your conversation, Asar. It's a conversation that people can have in a barbershop, but in the whole scheme of things, bro, this is not the we're way behind on this conversation. This ain't the conversation that actually matters.
So let me ask
the conversation that matters.
You said, so if I was married to a Japanese woman, does that make me Japanese?
No. But in the Jewish culture,
it's a religion. It's a religion, not a heritage. sa.neter. So by marriage, you can become Jewish. But I need to respond to Elder Yara because no one up here said it was a Republican or Democratic thing. I'm talking about the people that are in power right now, which happen to be Republicans. But we know that both Democrats and Republicans are supporting the Israel regime. There's no doubt about it, right? All administrations are sucking the tit of Israel, right? And for you to come here and say that this is a barbershop conversation, that my argument is you're not listening to what I'm saying, because I'm telling you that part of what you said. I will give you and Lord Abba this. China is part of it. I agree. Everything that you said about China is 100% is part of it. But we also got to know that Israel has an agenda to take over the West Bank, right? And that is something that's biblical. It has nothing to do with United States of America. The United States of America is just their big brother with the big arms they use them. It's like the little man who has the big man. The little man runs the thing. The big man is the muscle. The United States is Israel's muscle, right? And there's no way in the world that anybody can deny that if Israel tells the United States to jump, they jump. It's not the other way around. There's no dictating on the other way around. I've yet to see the United States told Israel ceasefire. Israel said we're breaking the ceasefire, and they'll give some felonious reason why they break it. They did it to Biden. They did it to Trump. They did it to Obama. They'll do it to any president because they don't respect the regime. Isn't what's running this country. It's the banks. It's the money. It's the political currency that Jewish people had created from when the Germans had did to them. And we give them about $18 billion annually. We give to Israel, and they give us nothing back. You say, well, it's because they're an ally in that region. But most of those countries in that region is not a threat to the United States of America. They may say death to America, but that's because America has went in and took out their leadership, tried to change their culture, tried to take their resources. So to come on here to say that this is a barbershop conversation is totally disingenuous. We're staying on the topics of the issues of why Israel. I spoke just like the brother before about there was a democratic process in 1950 that the Iranian people had held. And because of all the changes he wanted to make for the betterment of his people, the United Kingdom and the United States plotted to get him out and put in their puppet.
All right. All right. Let me move on to some of the people that didn't speak yet. Let me go to Revelation X. What's up, Revelation?
Peace and blessings to everybody on the panel. This is serious, sa.neter, because the thing about it is, and this is just me, I also have somebody here. I have a really good friend that would like this to say something really quick. It's kind of long-winded. You know, his name is Bill. And the thing about it is this: I thought that Trump, he was against these guys because they had nuclear capabilities, but then he said that he destroyed their nuclear capabilities, and now he's saying that he slew the Ayatollah. Now, I don't really deal with these type of stuff, so I really think I want to let Bill talk to you guys just a little bit. You know,
Bring
if it's
Bill
okay.
on. Bring Bill on.
Yeah. Just let him not be too long with Bill. Don't be long with.
We'll come back to that. In a phone call with NBC News, Trump said the people that make all the decisions, most of them are gone, and that a large amount of. He said the bombing campaign could last a week or as long as necessary. And then he said something extraordinary. He urged the Iranian people to seize their government, telling them it will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. Now, here's what happened next. And this is where things start to get complicated. Iran did not sit still. Within hours, Tehran launched retaliatory missile and drone strikes at U.S. military installations across the Middle East. Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain, bases in Kuwait, Qatar, the UAE, and Jordan. At least 5 people are dead. Videos show missiles striking near the heart of America's naval presence in the Gulf. Let me tell you something. When you order strikes of this magnitude, you have to know the response is coming. The question isn't whether they hit back. The question is whether you were ready for what comes after, and whether you had a plan that goes beyond the first 24 hours. Now let me get personal for a moment.
Not yet, Bill. I don't want him to get personal because, like I said, he's very long-winded.
All right.
When afterwards, that's just my, my personal question. But Bill has a lot to say, though. Trust me. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay. Let me go to Asar Mk, and then I'm coming to say cool.
You know, Imhotep to the panel, Imhotep to the chat. When Ibrahimi Raisi was in charge over there as the president, you had this same threat where the United States was looking at taking him out. And then he quoted Tupac. And then he made an urge to the brothers and sisters in the hood, us. And we kind of was like, all right, y'all need to slow down, And it subsided things. He died in a plane crash in 2024. With this new Ayatollah, the first thing that they did was say, hey, all of the Islamic world, and this is similar to the Ayatollah Khomeini, what they wanted him to do, come together and let's fight this threat of the United States. All the other Muslim countries said no. Not only did they say no, they turned their back on them. Immediately, you had one of the bombs that he was just talking about hit the airport in Dubai. It's Dubai, one of the spots over there. Yeah. They hit one of those spots. Anywhere where it was some Americans at, they was just trying to get some get back, right? So when you look at this, it's a desperate situation, and what everybody faces when you're coming against the European Emirates, if you will. America is in charge. And if America says we're going to do something, that's what they do. Europe backs them to a degree because Russia does not quite back them. And there's some other countries that do not. So Donald Trump's moves are lasting and they affect America in a negative light because 2 things will probably happen when we get our next president. One, will lose the trust of the people who are outside in foreign countries because you just had a man who was in power Tell Canada they were about to become part of the United States. Mexico, you're about to become part of the United States. Greenland, you're about to become part of the United States. All of that failed for them. But when they look at us, they say, yes, they've been good for the most part, but what if a weirdo does get in office and starts making these demands and commands, and he has all that power behind him? And even though we're just cleaning up old business with Iran, it's telling and it's dangerous at the end of the day. So we have to look at this for the future president to come.
Yeah, brother. I agree with everything you said, brother Asai Khan. I think you're on point, and I think that what we have to understand is that Iran has been dealing with this for such a long time, and what people don't understand. Yeah.
I said I was going to let Sekou go next.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yes.
It was a long pause, so I had to fill the space.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I had to. Morpheus called me. Yes.
Okay.
Sekou, let's go.
Yeah,
brother.
peace, sa.neter. Peace to the panel. Yeah, it's a global event unfolding, and I just think I should come in and add my own 2 cents to the discussion. I will take a different perspective. First, I will take the perspective of America imperialism around the world, that many Americans do not really understand how geopolitics affects the life of other people around the world. I'll listen to our brothers, for example, who say they are foundational Black American, which I don't have a problem with. They will be like, oh, why they come to our country? Oh, why immigrant? Oh, tethers. They don't understand that their country is a parasite that feed on the global community, that they are responsible for 80% of refugees in the world, that they are responsible for destabilizing region. I can tell you that from independence until this point, most African presidents' death is linked to America. All patriotic African leaders that died, from Sankara to Kwame Nkrumah to Patrice Lumumba, all killed by America. So when you see Africans today in USA or other places, oh, why don't you fix your country? The question should be, why did America destroy your country? I think that should have been the question. So you are benefiting from the destruction of other people. So instead of us to have a very informed conversation, we tend to look at things in a very narrow lens and think that other people don't know how to fix their country. That's why they run to America, because Americans are so ingenious, they are so intelligent. Look at Iran. The war is about Iran getting intelligent and being able to manufacture weapons for themselves, developing the technology. And they are saying, no, don't develop the technology. I have the brain. I want to develop my capability. Then you said, no, I cannot, because you are scared that when I have capability, I will attack you. Well, that's what you do. So since you say we are primitive and savages, now allow our engineers and scientists to test that. But you don't want to. So I want to just have that geopolitical conversation to understand that, do you see how your country destabilizes nations? Because the entire Middle East is destabilized right now. And now the result will be what? People will flee, ordinary people. Not everyone is a soldier. Not everyone is a fighter. Some people just want to have a peaceful environment with their family to strive. So what happened? They're going to run. And where do you find them later in the Western world that is peaceful? Because they cause war in other places. So that's just one piece I wanted to bring. The other piece, which is the actual war going on, I want people to understand that I do not support a theocratic government. Any government based on God and religion, I do not support it. So I'm not in support of the Saudi leadership or the leadership of Iran. I want a democratic, free society where everybody can participate. I do not support any theocratic government. However, it should be understood that America has been captured by Israel. People think that Israel is just a little country supported by America. It's the other way around. All your leaders right now work for Israel. That's what people need to understand. Benjamin Netanyahu, do you see Trump fixing his chair to sit down. He's the big guy in the room. When he enters, Trump stands up. That's a lot, man. There's a lot going on that people need to understand, that Israel has captured America and Israel works for America. That's the level we have reached. And Americans need to understand it, that their country is captured. The man who recognized Israel, I think Harry Truman, in 1948, the US president, he was anti-Semitic. They found letters that he wrote to his wife. He was against Black people. He was saying that niggers belong in Africa. This is a US president. And he was also against Jewish people. But when they said they wanted to create Israel, he said that's a good thing, because for them, they don't want Jews in the West. White people do not like Jewish people. They do not want them in Europe. So they thought Israel was a way of pushing them away, but they didn't know that these people have a plan as well to control them. So right now they have spied on all American leaders, and they found all the skeletons in their cupboard. So they are now blackmailing them and using them to do their bidding. I think that's where we are, and the world is less safer today than it was when Donald Trump came into office. When we told you that you are electing a madman, people didn't listen to us. That's where we are.
All right, AK, you ready now? You ready, AK?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
Okay, come on, then I got you back, Asa.
Okay, peace to the panel. This is my first time being on the HOK. It's an honor. I called in when I was 15 years old, sa.neter. I don't know if you remember me. I was the boy from Ohio who called in. I just want to add my 2 cents in. I follow geopolitics a lot. This is something I'm very interested in, and everybody has been on point. Everybody's made good points. This is about American imperialism and international Zionism. Israel has captured not just America, they've captured the Western democracies, particularly in the UK, everywhere. Even the Arab Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Jordan. That's why the Palestinians, people be like, why has Israel been able to do what they've done to the Palestinians for so long? It's because even the Arab Gulf states have bowed down to the Zionists, and this has been going on since 1948, since the creation of the State of Israel. This is about Western imperialism and colonialism and racism and white supremacy. That's all I have to say. Peace to the panel, and thank you.
Thank you, AK. Appreciate it. All right, Asa, let's go.
And I want to add something to it. This war is geopolitics. But we also have to deal with the homegrown politics that's affecting the American people, because this war is also being funded by our tax dollars.
How does this war affect us? How does it affect us?
It's being funded by our tax dollars. The United States of the people overwhelmingly has polled against this war. So this is not a war that the people of the United States want. They want their government to concentrate more on what's going on in their country, right? They want the economical and affordability to rise in their country. The foreign affairs is not a big issue for Americans. And when I say we, I'm talking about we as Americans, not we as the Black community, right? Because this government is a body of more than just the Black community. And we add to the body of this government. So we are affected as well. We cannot allow this government or people that we vote in to do things with our tax dollars without our okay, right? To do things in their best interest, but not in our best interest. And what's in our best interest is to have people in there who's looking out for Americans. As I said, Israel is controlled America. It's controlling America. It's controlling its government. And as the brother articulated very well and outlined all the things, Epstein files and all the things with Epstein has been covered up since the 80s. Epstein was found to be dealing with the Iran-Contra issue in the 80s. That's how long he's been wrapped up in this. And he's been working with Israel side by side. And he's created that island and had cameras everywhere so he can blackmail leaders, monarchy, spiritual leaders. They had them all in their hand. And this is how Israel was able to gain and build their power. If you don't believe that Israel has the finances, has the army, has the weaponry, and yes, we do give Israel weapons, right? We give them $18 billion a year, and then they buy the weapons that we give the money for. So we actually just giving them the money and the weapons, right? It's all a facade, right? And we have people in our government who are now being exposed. People gotta understand that Donald Trump is going to try to steal this next midterm election. He's going to try to stop it. He's making all efforts to make sure that the Democrats don't get power in Congress, because then all of his efforts will be failed. He will have no more power anymore. His executive orders will be struck down quickly, and he will be a lame duck president. And you will once that happens, you will see the switch of the Republicans and how they move with him. So let's not get it twisted. The United States is not running this war. It is Israel. They have, like the brother said, Ben Netanyahu has lobbied for Israel to attack Iran. I can show you videos all the way in the 90s in the Clinton administration where he's repeating the same mantra. They have weapons of mass destruction. They're telling us that they have weapons of mass destruction, but in June, he has supposedly obliterated them. How can you believe a government, and especially a con man like Donald Trump, when he has been caught in lie after lie after lie? Yet we have people still in here who think that Democrats or Republicans are here to help us. They're not here to help us, at least not the ones that are in government now. Who's to say if we elect a Democrat or Republican that's for the people, they may be different? I don't think it's about the party, neither parties. I think it's about the ideology of the politics in this country. And in order for us to change that, we have to see the realities of the truth of the people that are taking advantage of the American people and the people around the world, as both brothers articulated very well. And let's educate ourselves and stand up. And I'll land my plane there.
All right. Yeah, thank you, man. Hey, yo, my brother, how you pronounce your name again? How you pronounce your name?
Azu.
Azu. Let's go, brother. You got the floor. Hey, Dorsey, you got the cam up. You got the cam up. Go ahead, Azu.
I think as quote unquote American citizens, especially black quote unquote American citizens, I think we're delusional on how the government operates. The government does not care directly about its individual citizens. It's going upon corporate interests. So whatever corporate, especially when it comes to foreign policy, whatever corporate interests and overall governmental interests that they have to actualize and create a certain standard of living, they're going to execute that. They don't care about the sentiments of the regular citizen because they know directly they know directly that the citizens are not going to be organized enough to hold them accountable because they study this stuff psychologically, and they can easily put stuff in that's going to deter people, which we see it happen every day. So I think it's just America's going to run how it runs. America's going to fall through its own devices. But as far as people on an individual level holding them accountable, to me, that's just not realistic because the average American citizen is just not intelligent enough to do that. And there's not a critical mass of people that care enough to do that. Because if someone were to tell you that all things being equal in the world, that the American standard of living would go down, majority of people that live in America would be against that, and they would be for the United States imperial interest to maintain their standard of living. So I just think it's delusion to think that the government cares anything about that.
All right. Let's go. Black Sage, what's up, man? Black Sage. Y'all done ran Black Sage away. Let's go, Revelation.
24 hours.
Revelation, let's go.
For the moment, because I think this part matters more than
He's still playing Bill Clinton.
Please listen.
Ordered military strikes. In 1998, I ordered Operation Desert Fox, 4 days of sustained bombing against Iraq. I ordered cruise missile strikes against Al-Qaeda targets in Sudan and Afghanistan after the embassy bombings. I authorized the NATO air campaign in Yugoslavia to stop ethnic cleansing in Kosovo. Every single one of those decisions cost me sleep. Every single one of them I made in consultation with my national security team, with legal counsel, and with serious, sober awareness that American lives and the lives of innocent people abroad hung in the balance. Now look, I'm not saying a president can't act decisively. Sometimes you have to. The world doesn't wait for perfect conditions. But there is a difference, a profound difference, between a president who carries the weight of that decision and a president who seems to celebrate it. President Trump launched Operation Epic Fury without congressional authorization. He announced it in a video posted from Mar-a-Lago. He declared the supreme leader of Iran dead on Truth Social before any official government confirmation had been issued. And in his phone call with NBC News, when asked about Iran's next leader, he joked, and I want you to hear this, he said that at some point the Iranians would be calling me to ask who I'd like, and added he was only being a little sarcastic. Let me tell you something.
Can we get some commentary in here, Revelation X?
You have just ordered the killing of a foreign head of state. Sarcasm is not an option. That is not a moment for showmanship. That is a moment that demands gravity, precision, and the kind of moral seriousness that tells the world and your own citizens that this was a last resort, not a first instinct. And then there's the call for regime change. The President of the United States went on social media and told the Iranian people to seize their government. Now, I understand the impulse. The Iranian people have suffered enormously under that regime. The protests of 2022, the courage of young Iranian women, that was real and it mattered. But we learned something in 2003 that we should never forget. We toppled Saddam Hussein. We decapitated the Iraqi regime. And what followed was not democracy. It was a decade of blood, sectarian warfare, the rise of ISIS, hundreds of thousands dead, trillions of dollars spent, and a region more unstable than before we went in. Decapitating a regime without a plan for what comes next is not victory. It's the beginning of chaos. And urging a population to overthrow their government.
Can we close out here with some commentary, Revelation X? Because this is just now we just listened to Bill Clinton speaking.
That's improvisation on the most dangerous stage in the world. Now I want to talk about something.
Go ahead, homie. Go ahead, because I know you don't. You go ahead. You can go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to ask you because I don't mind you playing it, but at least let's get some commentary because I want to know: are you playing this to show Bill Clinton's humanitarianism? Are you playing this to show that Bill Clinton knows?
No, sir. I'm playing
everything
it to show
that
you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm simply playing it because he has some really valid points. What he's saying is true. There's going to be some serious repercussions. Also, I'm playing it because that's Bill Clinton. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he did in the past. He said it for himself. I actually sanctioned, strikes. But when I did it knowing what's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth move. And I also considered that a lot of innocent people, as well as a lot of Americans, are going to, be unalive. Now, this is one of the most I don't know what to call it, military moves in history. And I'm just wondering if the people, my brothers, my sisters, I love you guys of the United States, your president just, if it's true, because some people, you know, they're saying the Ayatollah is still alive, but that could also just be, you know, people that's in denial. If the Ayatollah is really dead, are you guys prepared for what comes next? And this is basically what Bill Clinton is asking. So I'm just playing this out because I don't live in America, sir. I live in Trinidad, but I know that this is going to affect the entire globe. So basically, I just wanted you guys to hear what Bill Clinton had to say about it, because he doesn't even sound like he's on Trump's side. He's opposing what Trump did. But
well, this isn't history, though, brother Revelation X. This isn't history. This is something that America has done from time and time again. This is no different from when they attacked Iraq, as he spoke. Attacking Iran in the same fashion, claiming that there were weapons of mass destruction. All of this was for Israel. And what Bill Clinton articulated, mostly all of us on this panel had articulated the same thing. So he's just really just confirming what we had already said. It's good to hear a president say it, but he's no humanitarian. He wasn't, I got to go in there and save these people. Do I want to have to do this?
I'm not saying that.
I disagree that. No, I'm not saying that you are. But what I'm saying is, when you hear Bill Clinton speak, you know, he speaks like these were humanitarian decisions that he made, and they weren't. These were political and power moves that were made by the United States in cohorts with Israel. And I think that we have to understand that Democrat nor Republican is for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hear you, and I understand.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think,
brother, this right here, brother Assad, this brother's sentiments right here is why it's not realistic to have any general mass to hold some government accountable. Most people are easily distracted and easily fooled. I mean,
I agree.
It just takes anybody with any basic geopolitical knowledge to know that this is just run-of-the-mill United States foreign policy. This is nothing drastic. It's nothing crazy. Like, it's just regular. It's how they operate.
Can I ask you a question? I just want to ask you one question. Has Trump railed against the usual foreign policies that America, most presidents usually run?
I would say yes.
I'm not talking about economically. I'm talking about as far as his force. I'm talking about force.
Not force wise. I mean, you could say I think he's being more as far as divulging things publicly. Yes, it's definitely more covert.
Well, most presidents don't go in war without the Congress consent. Most of them do, right? If they go into a battle, they don't label it a war. They'll label it a little skirmish. Because
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about as far as covert is concerned, decorum wise. Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah. But when he went to Venezuela,
the end result is the same, though. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you how the foreign policy is different underneath this administration, because other administrations didn't bomb fishermen, right? And then the ones that were alive in the water, bomb them again, because that's a Geneva Convention violation. And other presidents.
War crimes, I can't agree with that war crime.
Okay, that's a war crime.
But I agree.
There are scholastic. There are scholastic people that look at war and they said that he committed a war crime. But also in Venezuela, that's another.
I agree.
We don't do that. We don't do that.
Most presidents do.
Most presidents don't go in the way that Donald Trump get going. You're right. Most presidents do a regime change, but they don't do that. They don't take oil and put the money that they've got from that oil into a Qatarian bank account. That money usually goes into a United States of America.
All right, time out. Dorsey, you got to put on the shirt if you want to come on, Dorsey. You got to put on some clothes, brother. Got to put on some clothes. All right, let me go to God Energy, and then I'm gonna go to Sekou.
Peace, y'all. Yeah, what the brother was saying about America having a hand in the assassination of a lot of African leaders and independent thinking leaders. Also, you can see a connection with like these rebel groups and insurgent groups that capitalize off of the chaos being trained at the School of the Americas, right? The School of the Americas it has its hand in, the training of a lot of these different groups. And, they aid in that economic revolution, that economic overthrow that the CIA and the US uses. To talk about the CIA, when the brother brought up Epstein being involved in the Iran-Contra scandal, right? To refresh everybody, the Iran-Contra scandal was the CIA operation going on in Nicaragua, where the CIA was funding the rebels in Nicaragua. But they needed outside funds because Congress and the US government wouldn't officially fund the Nicaraguan Sandinistas. So the CIA got their revenue through other means, that means being drug dealing. Right. And this is how, the epidemic that we know of in the 80s came about. And it was discovered when Ali North's plane crashed, Ali North being a military pilot, and the cargo of narcotics was found in this military plane. So this was one of the things that exposed the Iran-Contra scandal that the brother also linked Epstein to. So it greatly affects us. And I do feel how the Balfour Declaration, which gave it the Zionists the charter to even settle those lands, that coming through the British, I believe that was a manifestation of the hidden power and hidden hand that these groups had already taken root in Britain. And we see the policies today and what the brother presented and the power dynamic of who dictates to who. I think that's really important that the brother brought out. We can see who dictates to who, and that'll give us a clear scale of this power dynamic. And I feel like what we see in that power dynamic, meaning the US taking orders from Israel, that seems to be what the power dynamic is. I believe the state of Israel is simply a manifestation of the hidden hand and power that this group has been able to amass gradually from Britain, and then through Britain's colonialism in Americas. And actually some of the first colonists and migrants to the Americas represent this community. So I think it's very important. I think the brother is spot on. And I think America is just a tool or the strong arm for Israel to manifest its goal of greater Israel. And I'm gonna land my plane with saying that I feel like the World Trade Center was the start of that. The World Trade Center having the insurance policy purchased by a Zionist, that specific insurance policy of that type of attack was the specific insurance policy he took up. So that allowed these Zionists to not only monetarily capitalize off of the World Trade Center, but also militaristically and politically capitalize, that kicking off the war on quote unquote terror that has led us down this snowball effect to where we see today. And all through the time, Israel has been the one pushing that snowball down the hill. So great presentation, brother.
All right, brother, say cool. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just going to give our people information to expect what to come in the days to come, because I understand people say, well, America be doing this, they assassinate leaders around them, which is true. This is what they do. They are specialists in this. But I want you to know that we are dealing with an ideology here and not just some country with politics. And ideology is very, very powerful, especially religion. How it controls the human brain more than drugs. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
So the person they just killed is the Pope of the Shiite war.
Right.
And it's going to be a 10 years war. Let me tell you that very clearly. I don't belong to that sect. I don't believe in their religion, whatever, but I can tell you how they think. This is going to be a 10-year war. And it's not like they will face America face to face. They don't have, but they are going to do you will see shootings in the days to come in America. So watch out in the places you go, the gathering, because they are going to do some shooting. They go bombing in airports, in train areas. So you have to just watch out for these type of things going to be happening, because they're going to find a way to hurt America indirectly in every way. So it's not like someone needs to give them weapon. They're going to act independently and individually because their leader is killed. So Iran is going to do that as well, embassies and other places. America knows this. Trump comes to the TV and tell you that there will be some American servicemen will get killed if your leader can tell you that in advance, he knows exactly what's going to happen. I think I just saw right now, they said the Senegalese guys just did some shooting in Texas. I think that's today. So that's just when he says the property of Allah, he wrote it on his shirt. I think that's just is a breaking news right now in Texas. So a lot of that's going to be happening. So these are things you need to watch out for. This is not spreading peace. America did not do that to spread any peace or love, or they want democracy. Saudi Arabia is just like Iran. Saudi Arabia, in fact, Iran, you can protest. In Saudi, you don't protest. You can't protest in Saudi Arabia. You get killed instantly. You can't criticize. In Iran, you see women come on the street and protest. You do that in Saudi Arabia, you are gone in 24 hours. But America support them. America give them all the one. So it's not about tyranny. It's not about saving people. It's about, can you be our bitch? Sorry for using that word. Can you just work for us? If you can't work for them, then you are a bad guy. But if you can work for them, you can kill as many people as possible. They don't care. So what this old man did, you wonder why they killed him. He decided that he wanted to be a martyr or a martyrdom. For them, it's something big to die in that way, especially in Ramadan. I heard that Russia asked him to escape, to have a safe passage for him. He's like, no, dying like this energize their people. So when you think that you've just quenched, you killed the head of the snake, they think that the way the Westerners, if you kill the leader of a gang, then the gang die. Now for these people, killing the leader, for them now he has gone, he ascended. So now he gave them power to do more. So it's even worse. The next one they're going to appoint, he will be more radical than the last Khomeini. This is the way it works. So it's going to get more dangerous. It's going to go out of hand. You can't treat this situation with bombs and guns the way Trump is doing it. It's not going to help. It's going to de-escalate. And I think everyone should watch out for those type of things. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Let me get Dorsey in the building. Dorsey, what's up, man?
Greetings, gentlemen.
Peace.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
I'm just going to say that these people have had their fangs and tentacles in the world throughout history. A country in Europe where I'm not going to say that's where they came from. The leaders of that country said they come in your country, they control the media, they control the economy, and they control the media. I'm sorry, the media. They put out narratives, and they say if you can control the money, you can control the country. We all know that a certain country was started by Freemasons. This goes back to Egypt. That piece of land has been in contention even back to the days of Rome and the Greeks. For some reason, these people have historically tried to take over this land. Now that they have control, they want to expand. I'm just going to say that it's been trillions of lives that have been lost for this piece of land. These people are behind it. They've been behind it with the Rothschilds. When you control the money, you control the country. He sent his sons out to start banks in every country. Back in history, now they're the richest people on the planet. This stuff goes deep, and that's all I'm gonna say. And that's where I think this conversation should start going, to get to the root of it.
All right, thank you. Yara, let's go, man. I know you're gonna give them some pushback, Yara. Let's go. You started off fire early. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Again, man, like I think I respect, people's positions on the panel and different things. Say cool, you brought out some great points. Azu, I agree with you, man, 1000% on your perspective and how you actually see the political landscape. Revelation X, God energy is always on point. I think people always overlook the significance of the Balfour Agreement and how much it has affected what we do and say every single day in this country. And the last brother was just on. But I will say this again, I'm going to stand by this. The conversations that we're trying to have on here simply is not what the people in play are talking about, right? Say cool. You talk about the Khomeini, right? It's like when you said that he's like the Pope in Iran. You're absolutely right. That's the equivalent, right? So just imagine if the Pope actually influenced every single political or political policy in the United States. Requiring everyone to attend mass, right? Requiring everyone to celebrate Easter, requiring everyone to take communion, right, in mass, right? What would Americans think, right? What would we do? We would protest and push back. Well, this is what the people in Iran was living under with the Khomeini. Like, these people were subjugated to their religious authority, not the president's rule, not the political people in that aspect. These people are ruled by a oppressive regime. That is the regime that's being talked about. It's not the actual government that are governing the people to a degree, who's taking care of people's everyday needs in that country. It's the religious oppression that the Khomeini holds over those people. And if anybody just takes a moment to listen to what these people who are in those lands are saying, yes, you're going to have some that's going to say, hey, look, our religious leaders did, because just like you would have people who cry when the Pope has died, right? You're going to have that. But overall, you have people, especially younger people, especially women, who don't want to, who don't feel like want to have to come out before they come outside or go to the market, that they have to put on their burqa. They don't want to do that. Right? That's not the type of oppression they want to live under. They can't own anything. They're subjugated to the rule of men. That's when we talk about democracy and different things. Whether we agree or disagree, that's the type of liberation that these people have been waiting for, that they can't have or experience under the Khomeini oppression. So let's put that in perspective, right? When we talk about these things, right? And we know that the small hats have had their hand in everything America and policy and politics since this particular government. We know these are things that they rule upon, right? And we know about.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up again.
And the war,
you're breaking up again, Yara.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, you're getting better.
Okay, I got to do this right here. Things that the Rothschilds have funded wars, for centuries, right? That we've been involved in. So that's nothing new about the players on the board. The issue is that for us as a people, we never take these opportunities to come together as Black and brown people in this particular country and try to amass not just a political movement, but a social movement that we can implement change that's in our best interest. And I think that's kind of what Lord Abba was saying when he came on. Like, that's what we should be moving towards. But we find everything to be a schism. So, that's all I got to say, man. And great, great show, man. Great talk, great discussion.
All right.
Can I respond to some stuff?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead and respond.
Okay.
I'm going to bring on the sister that's going to give y'all some pushback a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so Yara, I understand what you were talking about, to say that the dictatorship in the country, the oppression of the people, and we have to look at that. Well, that's a moral position. But what we are speaking on here is geopolitics. One can make the same argument for America, that there's a group of people in America who are oppressed, who do not have a say. They pay taxes, but they do not have a say in the government. They are oppressed. They are being treated wrongly. They do not have justice. If they go to court with the white people, they do not get the same justice. There's double standard in everything in America. One can say that since America was founded, it only gave justice to one group of people. It's the Caucasian. And you can make the argument, does that justify anyone bombing America tomorrow and removing its leadership? Will you support that? No. Every country goes through natural revolution. Iran, thousands of years ago, was Persia. They were not Muslims. They were under another type of religion. They were Zoroastrian. They were worshippers of fire. Then that power ruled for thousands of years until the people developed a new identity and they overthrew that leadership. Every countries in the world go through a natural period of evolution. The French Revolution, the people rose up one day and they said, we don't want monarchy in France anymore. And they rose up, they deposed their king. No king is powerful than his people. Any leadership you see, bad or good, it is a reflection of the collective consciousness of that people. Any leadership in any country, it is a reflection of the collective consciousness of the majority of the people at that time. If the Iranian people in their collective rise up tomorrow that they don't want Ali Khamenei, they will have removed him. They don't need American bomb. They don't need anybody to do it. They will remove him. It has happened everywhere in the world. The people rise up. For now, most of them believe in it. There was a king in Iran that was removed by Iranian people. The guy who wants to come back now, his father and his grandfather have ruled for generations until Iranians said, we want to be Muslim now. And they rose up. All you can do is to educate the Iranian people. If they say they want liberal democracy, they will overthrow their government. But we cannot look at this group of pedophiles, these people that are morally bankrupt, to tell you that they are the one who wants to restore democracy and freedom for people. Why killing Palestinians? They want to free Iranians? You believe that? They are killing Palestinians, but they want to free Iranians. That is the joke of the century. Is to tell you it is not about the people. It has nothing to do with democracy. Otherwise, they will tell Saudi Arabia the same thing you said about the Khamenei. It's the same thing Saudi Arabia. Why don't you go bomb them? It's because they give you the petrodollars. So this is not about the geopolitical conversation here is about destabilizing other countries to control their resources. This is the discussion. These people, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in theocracy. I don't believe anybody to rule any nation in the name of God. I don't want it. But if a group of people say that's what they want, I don't think I have the moral right to go and kill them because of that. Then I've become evil trying to destroy evil. It makes no sense. So this is all I wanted to say. America does not have the moral standing to attack any country.
All right. So now we have.
Shout out to Sekou, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
All right. So now we have Miss Nicole in the building, and she's going to give you her side and perspective of what's going on. Peace and blessings, Miss Nicole. How you doing?
Peace and blessings to the panel. I want to say, are we more interested in what's happening over in Iran? Or are we interested in what's happening with America? The problem with Iran is let me use my notes for this one because I want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm saying. The problem isn't just that we bombed Iran. Iran uses Houthis, which is a terrorist organization funded and controlled by Iran, and they're blocking the ships from going over to get oil, and they're attacking American people. So with Iran using Houthis to block the ships from bringing the oils over to the United States, that is a threat to the American people. Trump was not the first president to bomb Iran because nobody complained when Obama did it. Obama threw bombs over there. Nobody complained. Nobody talked about executive powers. But as long as Iran is not allowing importing to come over to the United States. They are a threat. They are a threat. They're attacking the ships that goes over through the Strait of Hormuz. So they are a threat to American interests. So I'm all for bombing Iran, especially as long as they won't put their nuclear weapons down. It's a threat to the United States.
All right. I think she have a valid point there, Seven Assault, with the nuclear weapons. What do you think about that, Seven Assault?
Can we?
Let me actually. Wait, hold on. Let me. I want to answer that question, but I want to address what Misunderstood said.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we have to address how there can be talking points given, but not all the information, right? The Houthis are blocking and attacking Americans because those are resources that they feel were taken from their people, right? When people come in to invade a place and they destabilize the government, the culture, and then they take the resources, there's going to be natural hate there. And we as American citizens, we can make those decisions to go in there. So we can't defend the foul actions of government officials who do it in the name of American citizens and trying to con us into thinking that they're protecting us. No, they're protecting their own economical and financial interests, not the economical and financial interests of the American people. And now I want to go to what you said about them getting a nuclear weapon. That's the same way when we were here in America and white people wouldn't allow black people to have guns. It was because they were scared that we would raise our guns in defense or revolution against our oppressors. And this is what the same thing that is happening to any country that the Western society doesn't want to have arms. Every country should have the right to defend themselves. Everyone in this panel has the right to bear arms because they have a right to defend themselves. I think it's a natural right. Israel doesn't want Iran to have a bomb because they feel threatened by Iran, but they have a nuclear bomb. I got you. I'm gonna close with this. Do you know? Go check this out on Breaking Point News. You have news casters and news reporters who go into the White House and they are told things, but they're not supposed to put them out public. Well, they've been hearing rumors about Israel threatening to drop the nuclear bomb on Iran. This is one of the reasons why they're aiding Israel, because Israel will drop a nuclear bomb. So now Iran is underneath the threat of have a nuclear bomb dropped on them, but they can't have their own nuclear bomb just as a deterrent or for self-defense. I disagree with that. I'll close there.
Iran is seen as a high threat to humanity. They're tied to terrorism. The United States has asked them.
That's propaganda.
That's your opinion. That's your
opinion. Fact.
That's your opinion, Seven. That's your opinion. They've been tied to terrorist attacks. So the United States has an interest to ask them to not threaten the United States to drop their nuclear weapons. And you can say it's propaganda all you want, but we still have the attacks that came from the Middle East.
What do you mean threat to humanity? Can you explain that?
I'm telling you the reasons why. I think we all know what a threat is when we talk about
but why?
I'm not going to explain that. I don't feel I need to explain that. But what I am
why
telling
do you believe
I'm
you've been
telling
explained?
you the reason why they asked for Iran to drop their nuclear weapons. It's to protect their interests, and we all know that Israel is our ally, right? We all know that. So it's to protect the United States and to protect Israel.
Those are just talking points. This is why you don't want to elaborate, because you're just speaking talking points and you don't know the real facts. Exactly. She's saying that they are a threat to the whole world. They only have the capability of making one nuclear bomb right now. They're trying to make one nuclear bomb. So they can't drop the whole one nuclear bomb on the whole world. That one nuclear bomb is a threat to Israel.
And are seen as a threat to the United States. And
yeah, but they're not going to drop that bomb on the United States. They're going to drop it on Israel.
We don't know that, do we? We don't know that.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Says, does Israel have a nuclear weapon or no? Says, does Israel have a nuclear weapon? Yes or no?
Well, I'm talking about Iran right now. I'm not talking about Israel. Israel has not threatened the United States
Does
with nuclear.
Israel have a
has not
nuclear
threatened the
weapon?
United
Yes
States
or no?
with nuclear weapons.
No answer. Does Iran have a nuclear weapon? The answer is still no. So this is just hypothetical. If this happened, then if that happened, as we speak here today, the only country that has nuclear weapon in the Middle East is Israel.
Facts.
Iran does not. That's the facts. Let's not talk about the hypothetical issues here. Let's talk about facts. Who has nuclear weapon? Israel. Where did Israel get their nuclear weapon? Stole it from the United States.
Thank you. I said that earlier.
Stole it from the United States through espionage. That is the spy. Israeli Americans spy on America. Steal your nuclear secrets.
Trying to neutralize the threats.
And they stole your nuclear secrets.
We don't have a threat coming from Israel.
I'm coming. A threat to humanity is when the IAEA, I don't know if you know what the IAEA is, the international body responsible to monitor atomic weapons and all of that. Israel has refused them access to their nuclear facility, but Iran allowed them to always monitor their nuclear facilities.
And America is more a threat to humanity than any other country in this planet.
Like Saudi Arabia and other countries that would join Iran in attacking the United States if the United States didn't do its job to neutralize it.
The United States and the United Kingdom propped up the House of Saud. Like this, y'all make these statements and don't be knowing what y'all are talking about geopolitically, bro. Y'all are delusional.
No, I do know what I'm talking about. Just because I don't agree with you does not mean I
no, it's not. So you just said that. You just
don't understand the topic.
You just brought up the House of Saud, and then you said that they could pair with Iran. No, they're not going to do that.
No.
They're not.
She doesn't know
the rivalry between the House of Saud and Iran is just as big as the rivalry between the United States and Iran. You don't know what you're talking about. And what Seven aside, this sister right here sentiments. This sister right here sentiments are the reason why I said
Iran.
Nah, she doesn't understand the topic.
Agrees with you, and not everybody is going to agree with you.
No, it's not about this.
So Seven aside, this sister sentiments right here is what exactly reflects my sentiments earlier.
Yeah,
the average American is an imperialist in mind. They are willing to justify. They are willing to justify any type of decadence to maintain their standard of living. She is a reflection of the evil that's propagated within this country, that these people do not care. They don't care about nobody else in the world as long as they can keep their iPhones. They don't care that the people in the Congo got to go out there and dig the coltan. They're risking their lives every day. They don't care about that as long as they keep their standard of living. These people are evil. This sister's evil, bro. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Yeah, you got to know the facts. You can't live off of talking points.
No problem with it. To bring it back a little bit, right? The Iranian freedoms that the brother was saying that people might enjoy, and even the fact that the Houthi rebels cause a little bit of issue in the logistics of oil, that doesn't justify or speak to or should allow us to enable neocolonialism, which is what Israel is doing. The same ideology of manifest destiny. It was our God-given right to come to the Americas and slaughter the native inhabitants and enslave other brown people to build this nation. That's the same ideology of the God-given right that these people are trying to start an ethno-religious type of state. Right. And it is neocolonialism. It is the same way that Europeans went out into a brown land and colonized and slaughtered the people. Israel has officially been signed as doing a genocide. So this is colonialism all over again. And the fact that it is going to be advantageous geopolitically from now into years to come, I don't think it's justified in any way by the reasons been given with the freedoms that women might enjoy and things like that, because those freedoms could have came other ways. And regardless of that, it's not America's job to enact and kill a president or an acting leader based off of that at all, because we've supported people that have done worse atrocities. So I think what the older brother brought up about the importance of that landmass, it has been fought over since the time of the Egyptians, and it is strategically advantageous for anyone who owns that territory. That's why every Bronze Age kingdom fought wars with each other for that territory. The Egyptians fought over that territory. The Assyrians fought over that territory. The Persians fought over that territory. The Greeks, the Romans fought over that territory. The Hyksos, who took over Kemet eventually, they are from that territory, right? So it is the importance of that territory and how it's central to the major land masses that is driving part of the conflict here. The Via Maris, the Haruz Way, the King's Road, right? These major trade routes that pass through there, the movement of goods, like the sister alluded to with the oil thing, the movement of goods from this area in general has been central to the Eastern and Western world, right? Due to its location. So I think that is of significant importance. And I think the freedoms that certain Iranians would get, I don't think that justifies or washes away the fact that these Zionists want to take control of that strategic landmass and have been successfully doing so. I'm going to land my plane with saying that the Saud family does have its origins with Jewish roots and things like that. So you can see the ethnic or genetic incentive they have, as well as the political and economic incentive that Arabia has to go with the political agenda of America and Zionism. I'm going to lastly say I'm interested to hear the panel's feedback or their thoughts on how BRICS might respond or how BRICS comes into play with this, since we are expanding the topic to other nations. So that I'm just curious about you guys' thoughts on that.
I'd like to get in here because I've been waiting for a minute since Yara. Thank you. And I just want to do this if I can. Peace to everybody in the panel. But I have to, peace. I do want to address some of my friends who I have been speaking to, my Persian friends, my Iranian friends here, and we have friends and family in Tehran and in Iran. So I do, if you give me a minute, I just want to say to them, خیلی شما تنگ شده، خیلی شما دلم برات تنگ شده، خیلی مبارکه جنگ نمیخوام ولی خیلی مبارکه، مواظب باش، خیلی مبارکه. منم خیلی خوشحالم برای اینکه جنگ نمیخوام ولی خیلی مبارکه، خیلی مبارکه. So what I'm telling them right now is congratulations. They know that, but I'm talking to them all around the world, all around the United States, because I've been talking to them all night long and even a little bit this morning. They are so happy that this is happening. I know this is a political thing. I'm not going to be up here too long, but I want to let you know people who are there are ecstatic. I know what Sekou is saying is correct. There's going to be a lot of hell to pay, but people are celebrating. They have been under unbelievable siege. They've been under such horrific tyranny. Women, Yara hit it on the head. You just don't know. To my friends, to Dustam Sima, Dustam Magne, Nagme, all my girlfriends over there in Tehran, suffering, getting their lips sliced for wearing lipstick, getting beaten, their eyes gouged out for wearing eyeliner. I'm so glad that this happened. I hope that somehow that we can get the United States to step in and they do not elect a Khomeini that is worse than the one that was, like Sekou makes a lot of good points. The West does have to step in. It's time to step into these nations, and let's start with Iran. Yes, Saudi Arabia is horrible. The Sharia law is horrible. Down with Islam completely. And so again, to my friends out there, دلم برات تنگ شده، دلم برا شما تنگ شده. I miss you. I love you. خیلی دوست شما. And just again, you guys know this because you say Mubarak for Ramadan, right? I'm telling them kheli Mubarake. Kheli Mubarake. Continue to be careful, and that's what I want to say, because you guys need to know there's a humane side, there's a humanitarian side, I should say. People, he needed to go, whether he wanted to go or not, he needed to go. So that's all I wanted to do. Thanks.
Thank you for that. Can I, hey, Nepal, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I don't think you heard my hi.
Yeah, peace to you, Queen. Peace.
Hey, Queen. Listen, I'm not saying that Saudi Arabia would join Iran in attacking the United States. But what I am saying that it can encourage them to have their own nuclear weapons over there, and all of that is a threat to the United States. Now, people that want to make it seem that it's the United States is attacking Iran. Iran has been attacking the United States, and we have been asking for Iran, trying to negotiate with Iran to get rid of their nuclear weapons, and they refuse to. So the United States views Iran as
they don't have a nuclear weapon. What are you saying?
I didn't cut you off, brother.
Hold on, let her speak. Let her speak.
I didn't cut you off at all. So let me finish my point. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. So the United States views Iran as a threat. They're a terrorist. We know that from the attacks against the United States. They use Hamas, they've used Hezbollah to be a menace to the United States and the troops over there. So this is not something that's new. Donald Trump is not the first president to throw a bomb over into Iran. So that's all I was trying to say. I'm not saying that, we're gonna the Saudi Arabians is gonna join Iran. I'm not gonna say that. But by Iran having nuclear weapons over there, it could encourage other countries like Saudi Arabia to do the same thing. And we do have to protect American interests, American troops that are going through the Strait of Hormuz that can't get back and forth. We have to protect our own people. I'll go on mute.
All right, let me respond to that, Sa, because I want to say that one thing that me and Sekou has said, and we both agree on, is that if there's issues in a country, United States cannot be the world police. Let the people resolve their own issues, because the United States are going into that country in a humanitarian, and their efforts are humanitarian. That is far from the truth. Humanitarian aid does need to go to Iran, and they are under a tyrannical government, but Israel and America had no plan for helping the replacement of the leadership once they killed him. They've said it over and over again in all news facets, as all reporters have questioned the government. What is your plan? They have one. And some of them don't even care to have one because they don't care for the Iranian people. There's 93 million people in Iran, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of them hates that tyrannical government. But like our brother Sekou said, belief is a strong thing. Indoctrination is a small thing. There are also probably millions of people who are mourning Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's death, right? And we don't have a census there, right? All the information we're getting on the response from the people is there's a division. You have some people who are speaking against that regime, and you have some people who are speaking for it. So we have to be fair in our assessments when we speak on the land, the people, the issues, and the government. And I'll land my plane there.
Yeah, that sentiment
all
is
right,
correct.
all right. Yo, sorry, y'all. I got to go. I got another show at 6. I got the brother Eric Muhammad, true follower of the Nation of Islam, of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and that's at 6 o'clock. So you know what? We could do a part 2 tomorrow. This is definitely important. So we got to get it in and do a part 2. I want to thank everybody for coming on the show. And Sekou, get some free time tomorrow, brother, so you can come up in here. All right. Thank you, Mr. Cole. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. Thank you. No closing. I got to get out of here.
All right. Peace to everybody in the channel and on the panel and in the chat. Peace. Thank you, sir.
Peace be like power, everybody. We out.
Peace.
You don't want to read the super chat?
No. The people.
okay.
I'm getting ready. I'm out of here. I got to go live. Peace, y'all.